everybody, happy Tuesday. Welcome to the show. We got a good one for you today. I'm your host Tyler, and I think I just did a Family Feud style intro. That's funny. But welcome to the Mallett Live. Today we're talking about the 7 things to know before you build a post frame building. Got a good episode for you today, lots of information, so stay tuned, we'll get to that. But first, as always, $500 discount every week, every day for our healthcare workers, educators, military personnel, and first responders. Of course, we appreciate what you do. We want to show our appreciation by giving you money off your building at the cost of $500 that goes in your pocket. Speaking of cash in your pocket, if you comment cash on a live stream just like this, you get $1,000 off your elite or signature Mallett building. When you do so, just let your building specialist know, and we will let them know that we've verified it, and you get $1,000 off. If you comment cash and are a healthcare worker, educator, first responder, or military personnel, that is $1,500 towards your building. Tiger Cash does not apply to promos or specials, just regular price buildings. Keep that in mind, but we still appreciate you, and thank you so much for tuning in. This is our way of saying thanks for the interaction. First on YouTube, Benny Benson, thank you so much, and then hello to you, Mr. Tim. Happy Tuesday. Thank you guys both for joining. Where is Mallett? We have an updated map for you guys. New way of doing things, a little more accurate than the hand-placed way we were doing recently. In Texas and Louisiana, between the both, we have 94 jobs going on. Great video in the newsletter. Mr. Tim, thank you so much. Thank you for mentioning that. If you haven't gotten our newsletter, sign up for that. It's got a lot of good information just like today, and I highly recommend checking that out. Just let us know, comment on the video newsletter, and we'll get you signed up for that. So where's Mallett? In Louisiana, we are in Franklinton twice, Elizabeth, Madisonville, Boise, Florine, Oakdale, Lafayette, Church Point, all over the place in all different phases. We have buildings in construction, materials on the ground waiting for construction. We have inspections, gutters, finishers, control joints, concrete, plumbing, and forming going on all over Louisiana, from the top west to the lower east. We're all over, and we have a lot of amazing crews doing amazing work throughout Louisiana. Go over to Texas, we have a few more jobs going on. We are in construction on the ground, forming, gutters, finishers, and concrete crews everywhere from San Leon to Dayton to Healdsville, Houston, Columbus, Port Neches, Lake Jackson, Beaumont, Montgomery, all over the east side of Texas. Super happy to be able to service all these areas. We are all over the area, and Mallett Buildings is growing day after day. Specials and promotions, you know we got some good ones for you. The whole month of November, we have 3 amazing classic specials going on. First one is going to be at $33,999. This is going to be a 30 by 30 by 12 with a 30 by 20 gable extension. So great for hanging out outdoors, parking, getting some space in, and it's going to come with everything you know and love from a Mallett classic building, from the 26 gauge metal, 5-1-12 roof pitch, 2x12 headers, 2x8 scissor trusses, rated for 170 miles per hour. Mallett cable lock system. The list goes on and on, you guys. 4,000 PSI concrete, which is 33% stronger than our competitors' 3,000 PSI concrete. Number 1 MCA ground treated kiln dried lumber throughout the entire building. Benny, we will be getting you that newsletter. If you don't mind sending us a message either on Facebook or comment or give us a message on YouTube, and we will go ahead and get you that newsletter. All we need is your email. Price match on the buildings, apples to apples with a $1,000 beat. That is our first special. Moving to the second one for $44,999. This is going to be a 30 by 50 by 12 with a 30 by 24 foot gable extension. A little bit bigger building, bigger gable, all the same specs, all the same awesome things that come in a Mallett building. Moving along, we have the Mallett Classic at $69,999. This is going to be a 40 by 60 by 12, you guys. Big building with a 40 by 30 foot gable extension. You could have your parties, your crawfish boils, get ready for football season coming up next year. Everything is a possibility here because that is a big building with a big gable. That's a lot of space, all for $69,999. Look at this cool generated image we got. We used our 3D builder and kind of spruced it up a little bit. Here we have flat bottom trusses. This is an optional upgrade as well. And then you have all this space, cool colors, great building, 40 by 60 by 12 for $69,999. Check that out. Call a building specialist today. They'll get you in line for that. Mallett Ambassadors Club. We mention this all the time because we love our ambassadors. Have 3 different tier levels, all different rewards, everything ranging from cool gifts to special ambassador swag bags to personal invites to come hang out at Christmas parties, to come hang out at different events we have going on here. First in line perks, you also get larger bonuses on your referrals. So if you are an ambassador, we want to treat you right and give you a bigger bonus at different levels. So check out that information. Let us know. Again, if you want to be a part of our ambassador club, these are people who have purchased the Mallett building and want to just kind of share what we have going on. We want to share that their building is there. So if someone is on the fence about something, wants to see a building in person, our ambassadors are there. Mr. Tim is one of our ambassadors. We have Mr. Hana, who is also an ambassador, and plenty more. If you have any questions, please feel free to let them know, and they will let you know a little bit more about that, or contact us here at the marketing department. We'll get you everything you need to know sent over. Moving right along, the 5 red flags. As always, this is not to talk trash or talk down on anybody. It's just to make sure you are informed about making an educated decision when you choose who is going to be building your building. You want it to be there for a long time, not a short time. That's how we do things here at Mallett. Things you want to look out for is years in business. You can check that at the Secretary of State. Here at Mallett, we've been in business around as long as I've been alive. We've been here for 26 plus years and continuing to go on. Licensure and contractor violations, you can check both at the LSLBC's website. We are a licensed not only contractor for residential and commercial, but we are a licensed engineering firm as well. We also have 0 contractor violations with the LSLBC. Feel free to go check. I promise that's what it will show, and we are proud of that. We want to make sure everything is quality and in good condition and by the book. Reviews on the BBB and Google. Speaking of by the book and quality, we have over 600 reviews on the BBB and Google combined. Not many people can say that. Not many people have had 600 customers to give them a review because just as years in business, they haven't been around very long. So keep those things in mind and make sure you check the public opinion. Visit the contractor's facility. We have an amazing facility. Just last week, we walked you through the truss plant via the pictures, but we want you to come check it out in person. We're updating it every day. As Mr. Trent said, we have new updates coming all the time. We're about to have some cool lasers installed to help be even more accurate than we already are. If you've driven past I-10, you may see our roll form plant going up as we speak. The roofing is going on, the additional things. I saw the guys out there today working on that, so more and more is being added every day. All of this is done just to make sure your customer experience is the top tier and as good as can be, because here at Mallett, we strive for the best. Let's see. Every customer needs to do their diligence, no matter what product it is. I agree 100%, Mr. Tim. Due diligence is a money saver and a time saver, because in the end, time and money all come down to the effort you put in the beginning, and we want to make sure here at Mallett you have the opportunity to make the best choice possible, which we feel is us, but that's for you guys to decide. Moving right along, why Mallett? Speaking of the best choice, we're going to talk about the generalistics of the other guys versus the Mallett, and we're going to use our classic building because even our classic is better than what most people's best buildings are, and this is why. Most of them are going to use 29 gauge metal. We use 26 gauge standard. It's not an upgrade, it's standard. 4-on-12 roof pitch. If you're lucky, we use a 5-on-12 roof pitch standard. That's going to be, it's a better looking roof and a better quality roof because it allows debris to shed even better, runoff for water, allows less chances for dings, dents, and leaks. 2x6 trusses that are probably not inspected and probably have 2x4 inner webbing. We're going to use 2x8 scissor trusses that are stamped and approved by third parties, as we see here. They're going to use common flat trusses. Again, we have scissors. 130 to 135 mile an hour wind rating. We're going to have 170 on our trusses, and the classic and the elite building is actually going to have 145 mile an hour wind rating on the building standard. They don't use any sort of uplift control, guys. We use the Mallett cable lock system, which, as we've explained before, is an aircraft cable that is tied with big old bolts that are bolted underneath the concrete to each post, and it goes post to post in a diagonal and horizontal pattern across the entirety of the building, and then that slab, which is microfiber reinforced at 4,000 psi, is poured on top of those cables, and it allows for, if say you have a malfunction in your door during a storm, that's going to create a whole bunch of uplift inside the building, like a parachute almost, and we want to pick that building up. These cables and all that being under the concrete allow it to be stationed to the concrete, to the ground, and make it a lot more difficult for wind to take it. That is why we have 0 lost buildings to hurricanes in our 26 years. This cable lock system is a phenomenal reason for that. They don't use anything in the posts, or for their posts, they put it in dirt and gravel. We have concrete under every post. We have our post pads. We talked about the concrete, they have no ground protection. We have skirt board guards, 1 to 2 year warranties if you're lucky. As I mentioned, a lot of these companies are newer. Nothing wrong with that, but my thoughts are, how can you offer a warranty that's longer than you've been in business? That's hard to wrap my head around, but here at Mallett, we start off at a 4-year workmanship warranty. They use number 2, untreated generic lumber. We have number 1, MCA, ground treated, kiln dried lumber. I like to say, why go with number 2 when you can choose number 1? They don't have any engineer on staff. We have Mr. Darrell. You've met him yesterday and every Monday, and they don't do any sort of price match. We will match anything apples to apples. If they can beat our quality, we can beat their price because they can't beat our quality or our price. So that's something we offer here at Mallett. And here's a quick comparison of the Elite versus the Classic. I'm not gonna go through all this. We've talked about a few of these things here, but feel free to reach out to us if you want this information. We will get that sent to you. So, to the topic for today, the 7 things to know before you build a post frame building. I know this has been a good topic of conversation here lately. There's a bunch of people we've spoken to who are in the process of building their building or thinking of doing so, and these informational tips are the perfect way to get started, just to help you avoid those roadblocks and trip on that journey. So number 1, you want to verify your site readiness. What does that mean? I'm glad you asked. Clear, level site. Make sure there's no debris. Make sure everything is level and clear and accessible by I have jokes every day, Mr. Tim. And accessible for the people who are delivering the equipment and the materials. You want to have good drainage because we don't want water buildup. You want to make sure that pad is up to the appropriate height, and you want to make sure things are done appropriately. Again, clear, level, drainage, and accessible. You want to start with your site to make sure it's cleared, level, and properly drained. As we said, a well-prepared site helps prevent costly delays and ensures a solid foundation. Also, double check that trucks and equipment can easily access your property. A little extra time on the foundation will save you a big headache in the future. This is number 1 because it, of course, is the most important, but nothing else can happen until the site is ready. If you have any questions on that, here at Mallett, we're here to help. You just let us know. On to number 2, you want to confirm your local permits and restrictions. Check with the local permits and the offices. You want to make sure there's no setbacks and height limits. You want to make sure you have everything properly stamped and ready. Post permit on site, because if someone comes to visit your site, they will shut you down and possibly have you tear the building down if these processes aren't taken properly. You don't want to get halfway through your build and then find out you can't be building something. Depending on where you are, how strict they're going to be, but we have heard too many cases of people actually having to tear down all that hard work, get the permit just to start all that over again, and we don't want that to happen to anybody, because that is an expensive mistake, and it's hard to call it a mistake because some people just don't know. But before construction begins, confirm all local permits and zoning requirements. Every rural area can have rules on building placement or height. Always post your permit on site before work begins. We just talked about why. Moving to number 3, you want to finalize your building design. So once you've taken care of the site, once you've taken care of the permitting, you're ready to begin the design and get this process going. So finalize your size and layout. Talk with your designer, talk with the people here at Mallett who are helping you create your building. Make sure things are not only to code, but to your liking. There's no point in it being legal if you also don't like it. There's a good blend of both. Make sure you work that out and have a comfortable spot to be. Door and window placement is important. I was talking to Daryl the other day, our engineer, and he was saying a lot of times people have these plans and they love their plans, they're ready for their plans to be built, but if you look at it, we have our 9-foot spacing. Sometimes those windows fall right in the middle of those posts, and you either have to move the window, take the window out, because you can't move the post. It's engineered that way for a reason. You have to make sure they are set up at a specific placement for the windows, the doors, the roll-up doors, the AC unit if you have that in there as well. All these things need to be thought about, which is why you want to work closely with your designer to make sure those are properly laid out. You also have roof style and add-ons. These are all additional features you can consider. So get your design locked in before materials are ordered. Changes after approval can lead to delays and extra cost. Work with your building specialist to finalize all the details up front. That's just what I was saying, you guys. talk to your building specialist. They're a specialist for a reason. They've done this before. They know what they're doing. And even if you do as well, it's nice to have a second opinion. So make sure you talk with people and confirm these things beforehand, because no one likes extra costs and no one wants to pay more to wait longer. Moving to number 4, plan your concrete and your utilities. Power, water access, plumbing, electrical, and slab, coordinate early. Now, if you're just doing a simple shop, this may not all apply to you. You may not have plumbing, but most everyone's gonna have power, and a lot of people are gonna have water. Here in the South, there's just a lot of things that happen in a shop. If you're working on cars, you're definitely gonna have water as well. Wash your hands, get cleaned up, all that good stuff. But you wanna make sure you coordinate this early with your designer, because they have to assign these locations appropriately to not only the codes, but to the design and layout of your house. Or if it's not a barn dominium, of your shop. So whatever you decide to build, you want to make sure you coordinate that. Because if your project includes plumbing or electrical work, coordinate those plans early, especially if they'll run through the concrete slab. Proper planning keeps your build on schedule. If you have the slab poured and then you decide you want electrical run through or plumbing, well, that means we have to dig the concrete up, cut into it, do all this stuff, and that just becomes a whole extra process, and extra processes cost extra money. We want to avoid that. Whoa. Number 5, understand your warranty and materials. Workmanship warranty, material coverage, Mallett equals trusted protection. Understand what you're gonna get before you get it, you guys. If there is a warranty, which here at Mallett there is, we have a 4, 6, or 10-year warranty. If you're getting this workmanship warranty, understand what it covers. Just like when you're getting insurance, just like when you're putting insurance on a vehicle, on a house, you want to know if X happens, what am I covered with? If this happens, what happens after? You want to make sure you're on the same page with the person providing the warranty. That way, God forbid something happen, but in the event it does, or just things aren't as they should be, people are human, things happen. That's what warranties are for. You want to make sure your materials are covered and your building itself is also covered, but understand what is covered and in what events. Know what's covered for and for how long. Mallett Buildings offers industry-leading workmanship and material warranties, so you can compare with confidence and protect your investment long term. Shop around. I promise you, you're going to find we have the better building, the better warranties, the better coverage. That's just what we do here at Mallett. After 26 years, we've kind of figured a few things out, and we want to make sure the customers have the best experience possible. This is part of that, because once the building's done, we're not done, because you have a Mallett building, which means Mallett is always here. Number 6, budget for the full project. Include site prep and concrete. Plan optional features and stay transparent to avoid surprises. Just because you don't tell your designer or your building specialist what you're planning to do doesn't mean you get to save the money on it. I've seen this a lot. People think if I just wait till later to talk about it, the bid will be lower. If I wait till later to bring it up, my quote will be lower. And that is true. But the after costs will usually be higher than planning beforehand of doing this. If we know what the prep and the work that goes into it beforehand, it's going to make it a lot more accurate of a quote and a lot more accurate on you to know what your investment's going to look like. Because that's what this is. It's an investment into something on your property, whether it be a building or a barn dominium. Plan those optional features. Budget for everything: site prep, grading, concrete, and any optional finishes. A clear and realistic budget keeps your project running smoothly from start to finish. I always like to bring up, when it comes to budget, we have different tiers of buildings as well. You hear us talk a lot about the elite, and now we're talking about the classic. There is a third option, our signature line. So we have our classic, our signature, and our elite. They're all phenomenal buildings. As we mentioned, our classic is better than most people's best building. But if an elite's not in your budget, you don't have to take everything out. You can go to the signature. And if you really just want to save the most money but get the most bang for your buck, we have our classic. And you can add as much as you want, or you can take away what you want, but you still get a Mallett building. And a Mallett building means you have the better building. So talk with your building specialist. Don't just give up beforehand, but a realistic budget will help save time and money, and honestly, it'll help save frustration as well. And number 7, schedule around the weather. I know that's kind of hard to do here in Louisiana. Mother Nature is here than there. It's 40 in the morning, 90 in the afternoon. It's raining, snowing, hailing, sleeting all in one day. But account for weather delays, plan seasonal builds, and build smarter, not rushed. as we've been talking about, you guys, a functional and well thought out plan and approach is the ideal way to do things. Account for weather delays, account for Mother Nature, because we cannot predict what she's going to do, but put that into your schedule and give yourself a little extra time to have these delays, and let your building specialist know, work with them, let the crews do their thing, and be willing to sit back a day or two in those events that they're not able to get out there. Louisiana and Texas weather can change fast, as we said, so schedule wisely to avoid delays, or rework. A little planning up front saves time and money later. So wrapping everything up, you guys, build smart and build with Mallett. If you need extra concrete pour, go to... We do have good prices, Mr. Tim. So your dream building starts with a solid plan. Visit us online at mallettbuildings.com or follow us on social media to stay involved. And when you're ready to build, visit us online at mallettbuildings.com, and a Mallett building specialist is here to guide you from start to finish. Contact one of our building specialists today at 337-214-0428, and I promise you they will have the answers you need, and if they don't, they will get back to you as soon as possible. But that's going to be it for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a like and share it with a friend. And if you want more information, or we didn't talk about something you have questions about, let us know in the comments, and we will make sure to get to that in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.